Welcome to my Ask Max Anything, my AMA for November. It's been a very busy month for us. Many things has happened. So as always, let me give you a quick overview of what happened since the last AMA. The last AMA I did from London. I had a bit of a problem there with the light and the WeWork I was sitting in. Today I'm again in Berlin, doing it from the Lisk Center Berlin. You see in the background, we added some stickers to our windows to just attract more, I would say, curious minds into the space. But of course, still due to COVID-19, it's not open yet. We are looking to reopen it somewhere next year. In terms of the finances, some details about that. So in October, we bought 17,400 LSK tokens back. And in November, we will buy back 87,700 USDC worth of LSK tokens. More information about that will be in our next financial update, like always. We are also currently still in the process of liquidating 180 Bitcoin. The liquidation will go on until mid-December, and 33% of that will go into our cash reserves, and 66% of that will go into our US dollar coin reserves on BlockFi, so that we can earn even more yield on that and buy back even more LSK tokens on a monthly basis. Why the separation 33% and 66%? It is because we are selling these 180 Bitcoin just because our general expenses went up, and we have the rules of 1 year in fiat and 2 years in stable coins, and that's exactly the 33 and 66%. Then in terms of our grant program, we have 2 new blockchain applications which successfully passed and entered our grant program. So super happy about that. One is DoIdo from one of our former team members, Nazar, and 2 additional team members or founding members in there. And they're working on a decentralized education platform where the incentivization model is also built right into the platform in a trustless way. And the second one is Collecti from the Musti team. Super happy about that one too, which is an NFT marketplace. They already surprised us with an amazing Halloween edition on Lisk Scan, which were essentially the first NFTs within the Lisk ecosystem. So super, super cool what happened there. Our community got super excited, started to claim their own NFTs and traded them. Some made collections of the epic versions of the NFTs because they think maybe it has it will grow in value in the future. So they're continuing that effort, but in a more focused way with Collecti, which I think then will be a very big success within the Lisk ecosystem, because NFTs are just booming right now and I don't see that trend going away. In terms of product releases, I will open the achievements blog post. There we had a patch release on the Lisk SDK side and also on the Lisk core side, fixing some bugs we found in the major versions of it. We had a few beta and RC version releases on the Lisk service product, which will add a news feed feature to it, which will allow us to show you better the news around Lisk within Lisk desktop in the future. And it also has some performance improvements which we encountered, or where we encountered some problems in the past. And then just speaking about the Lisk desktop, we had also 2 beta and 1 RC version there, and just recently the production release. That was a very important release for us because it provides a workaround for hardware wallets for Trezor and Ledger, where you can, if you really urgently need access to your LSK tokens from those hardware wallets, can now retrieve the LSK tokens. But it's just a workaround, and we are not recommending it if you don't urgently need the LSK tokens, because it involves the seed phrase of your hardware wallet to be typed into Lisk desktop, and that exposes it, and the whole advantage of hardware wallets disappears. So really only if you need to urgently access your LSK tokens, you should make use of that workaround. In Lisk Desktop 2.2, there will be the hardware wallet support reinstated for Ledger devices. There we are working very closely together with the Ledger team. It's an amazing team to work together with. They're very responsive. There we are bringing you then the full hardware wallet support back. For Trezor devices, this will happen a little bit later, somewhere next year. There are still a few matters to take care of before we can continue the full hardware wallet support for Trezor as well. But both will come at one point. When Lisk Desktop 2.2 will be released, we can't say for sure, but we estimate a beta and RC version still this year, and then the production release beginning of next year. However, you will be able to use the RC version or even the beta version to access your LSK tokens from the beginning, so I don't see a problem there. So yeah, that's about that. Then we had a blog post from the research team covering the new token module as part of our SDK and as part of our interoperability solution. Super interesting as well. Please check that out. They're doing tremendous work there, and I think it's worth spreading the word about that. Then we're still currently in the Hack on Lisk 2 period, our second online hackathon with the focus on DeFi and GameFi. And submissions can still be submitted for 5 more days. So the deadline is the 15th of November. So if you are developing something or working on something, please make sure to submit it in time. There are many prizes to be won, and you don't want to miss that. And the winners will be announced on our next major event, AmpliFire, which happens on the 2nd of December. And AmpliFire for us is a little bit of a different event. We have Lisk.js, which is our annual flagship event for developers. But with AmpliFire, we're for nearly the first time trying to target more general crypto enthusiasts, entrepreneurs, and investors. And therefore, we're trying to explain the Lisk concepts, products, and our vision in a little bit of a different light, where also regular users understand what our plans are. We're talking so much about different versions of different products, and there are so many of them, but we rarely talk about more high-level stuff. So that's all coming on AmpliFire, with a special focus, like I said, then also on the vision, on where Lisk is going to go from here on out, what our plans are exactly for the next year in terms of development, research, and marketing. But like I said, from a very high-level point of view, and also how we see the case for Lisk being, like, what is our reason to exist? What are our unique selling points, and so on and so forth. We will have a few surprise guests and a few community members, which surprise us there. So definitely stay tuned, wait for more news, and check out the website as well to always be informed who is going to be present and speak about their project or something else. So super excited for that. And yeah, that's it already with a quick overview. And I'm closing everything so I can put all your questions to the front. And I would say let's start with that. So the first question by Botja is that when will the Lisk mobile wallet be released? So we're currently having Daniel working on the Lisk mobile wallet. He's doing a very good job. It's shaping up quite well. I think the planned release is for early next year. And why is that? So as you know, we didn't release a Lisk mobile compatible wallet for our Lisk version 3 mainnet because we had to do certain compromises there in order to deliver the mainnet migration earlier. And what we just did now was to merge the most important release goals all into Lisk Mobile version 2.0, which we will deliver then now as soon as possible so that the support can be reinstated. However, we cut back certain release goals so that we can then begin the work on the Sapphire phase, that means interoperability, in order to make sure that we have a compatible Lisk mobile wallet for the release next year. We're doing the same thing for Lisk Desktop, where we're now merging multiple versions, put some release goals to be scheduled later in order to begin work on interoperability there as well as early as possible next year, in order to have it in time for when the SDK and core are ready as well. So yeah, the next mobile version will come like somewhere early next year and will feature the full support of Lisk version 3. And then we will begin the work on the interoperability features within Lisk Mobile, but also Lisk Desktop. And the second part of the question is when family can eat again. Well, let's see. But I think things right now look quite good in the crypto space, with Bitcoin just hitting an hour ago or so an all-time high, Ethereum as well, and the price of Lisk is also doing not too bad. So really looking forward to the upcoming weeks and months to see where the crypto space is developing to. Then a question from M20 from Discord, actually. Our community manager forwarded it to the YouTube channel. Is there any focus of developing a browser wallet like MetaMask for Lisk? This would enable all sorts of DeFi and NFT environments to be expedited. So I kind of went into that in the past as well already. Our research team is currently researching multiple ways how we can improve user experience in an ecosystem with multiple blockchains, because that's what the Lisk ecosystem will become. And so far, our idea is that you have Lisk Mobile and Lisk Desktop, and there you sign all the transactions happening within any blockchain within the Lisk ecosystem. So in this case now, if you have a blockchain application and its user interface would be just a web app on a website, then you could connect your wallet essentially to the user interface, but it wouldn't be a connection to a browser plugin, but rather just to your mobile or desktop wallet. And then as soon as you need to start signing a transaction, it brings you to the desktop or mobile wallet. There you sign it, and on the web app, you just see then, well, the transaction to go through, and your like whatever you changed or updated or created or whatever the blockchain application is about, it will be done. So it's a bit different to MetaMask, where you have the browser plugin and then sign it right within the plugin. I think browser plugins are a little bit, well, outdated and insecure. And I think it's a better system to have the Lisk mobile and desktop wallet for the signing process. And that's currently our idea and the idea we are following. It could be that in the future a community member will take care of such a browser plugin, but so far there are no plans from our side. We will use the system I just explained, where the Lisk mobile and desktop wallets will come into place to sign transactions. From a user experience point of view, there will be no difference. It might even be better, a bit more secure, and I'm really excited to see how that will look like. We saw it in a very early version on Lisk Scan recently with a Halloween NFT campaign, where you just had a small pop-up, you clicked on a button, you went to Lisk Desktop, clicked on another button there, that sent the transaction, and then you went back to the browser and the transaction was sent and you received your NFT. So very similar to that, actually, and I think it was very well implemented by the Musti team there. Then the next question is, what about the max supply? I assume Nepra is talking about the maximum supply of the Lisk token. So there is actually no maximum supply. There is an inflation of one new LSK token per block, and the block comes every 10 seconds. And this actually puts us to one of the lowest inflationary cryptocurrencies in existence. I think it's hovering around 2%. So it's not decreasing any further from here on. In percentage number, of course, it is decreasing because the total amount of LSK tokens is increasing while the inflation stays the same. But it's already very low. It's there in order to, incentivize the network to keep securing the network, like incentivizing the full node operators to keep securing the network. If that would fall away, then I think it wouldn't be very wise move, because, well, then the full node operators don't have any incentive anymore to make sure the network is secure. You could, of course, argue that at one point the transactions are, like, the transaction fees in a block are enough to incentivize a full node operator. However, at the current point of time, by far, no, like, it's not the case. You know, the transaction fees are still so low that no node operator would be incentivized with that. So as long as this doesn't change, we don't change that. But I think we will never change the block rewards. It's such a foundational thing to a blockchain that it would be very hard to actually update that afterwards. Never touch the token economics, essentially. Then Skasta is asking if I work, or if Lisk Foundation works with an HR agency, and if yes, which one? We see hiring new people go slowly in Light Curve. So we're not working with an HR agency. An HR agency generally doesn't take care of recruitment. They take care of, like, internal processes and of general HR administration tasks. For that, we have an HR team present in the Lisk Foundation, but also within Light Curve, the development studio for the Lisk project. And what you're referring to are recruitment agencies. And yes, we are working not with full-blown agencies, but with individual recruiters here at Light Curve. For the Lisk Foundation, that's not necessary. I think currently we're working with 4 different recruiters in order to attract new talent. But it's very difficult to find talents right now. Like, December is a tricky month. So that will become a bit tricky there as well. But also in general, I'm not sure what it is, but I think due to COVID, it's just trickier to hire people. That's why we changed our stance in terms of remote. We are now remote first and hiring people from essentially all over the world, but mainly within our plus minus 3-4 hours time zone. So with that, we just recently hired, I think, 5 or 6 people within a very short time frame. So I wouldn't say that our hiring is going slow. Actually, it picked up quite a bit recently. So yeah, that's our strategy there. With recruiters, we work together. Then Coinbase listing, any update, please? There are some things moving forward there, but I cannot say what exactly. However, we are now following 2 strategies where we are just essentially increasing the chance of being listed with whatever we can do. One is the Rosetta implementation, which is a token or an API standard developed by Coinbase. That one we have implemented and would only need to be released in a new Lisk core version as a plugin. As long as we don't get any feedback or response in terms of that from Coinbase, we're not doing that and putting all the efforts on the SDK for interoperability. However, that's ready. Then we are still working on the legal opinions. For Switzerland, it's ready, but then the legal memorandum for the US is still work in progress, but will be, I think, done soon. And be aware, a legal opinion is not possible. No one wants to do that anymore for the US. That's why we now have to do a legal memorandum, which is not delivering the same insurance by the law firm, but still states an opinion. So that's done as well. And while we are on the other side trying to get in contact with Coinbase and do everything like in a way what would improve our chances again to get listed, like offering them like to store certain parts of our treasury in their custody, for example. There are different ways we can or what we can offer them, and this is all under discussion. So Coinbase in general is work in progress. We're actively working on that, I cannot reveal anything, but we are giving our best to get listed there. I see it still as a very important, or one of the most important points for business development at Lisk to achieve. It's definitely not coming this year, and let's really work hard on delivering that next year. Let's see. I can't promise or say anything for that. It's still far too early, far too early. Then, do you reveal some info about next DeFi app by Lightcurve? Yes, this will be revealed at AmpliFire as part of the ultimate vision for Lisk. So you can be very excited about that. Will be great. Then, any hints regarding the moves that are on the way before Amplifier, the marketing moves? So, well, there will still be one bigger thing done before the event, which I think will be very, very cool. Super excited to see that, and it will be a reconfirmation of our stance. And I think you will be all very pleased to see and hear that, because it is a stance you were asking for quite some time. And else, there are also multiple smaller things still in our hands in order to build up the excitement for Amplifier. It will be a great event. Really looking forward to that. It will really show some light into what's coming next year and how we are changing also in general our project's vision going forward. It's a must do, so please tune in for that. You will not regret that. Then, by Pchema, I saw you ramped up the hire of new employees. How much in size you're planning to expand? So Lightcurve currently has around, I think, 37 employees, and the Lisk Foundation has 4 employees, so let's say around 40. And by next year, we will probably add like 20 or 30 positions. So we are scaling back up. We're ramping up our efforts because we need to. Our platform is launching next year. With that, essentially, Lisk goes out of the building phase into a production-ready state. And that's where we can put so much more focus on business development and marketing, because all the users we will attract will finally have a product to use, the blockchain application platform, and then hopefully also multiple products with all the blockchain applications being built. And yeah, that requires more people, but also our own blockchain application, our DeFi blockchain application we are building requires more resources. And in general, we are bolstering up the different teams for SDK, core, service, desktop, and mobile in order to just do more there. This comes after Oliver and myself stepped up into our chief level positions. Before we were still head of departments, and now that we stepped up, we can take care of bigger topics for the Lisk project, but also just are able to scale up the company again in order to just have more output and greater results. Then again, a question from Discord, from FS. I know it's being raised many times, but any comments regarding the withdrawal issue of Binance, any assumption of the resolution, etc. So we're in daily contact with Binance via Telegram channel we have established with them. We have quite a few plans with them where we want to work together in the future. So that's super cool. They're a very nice team, very helpful to us and very responsive, something I cannot say about many other exchanges. But with them, it's very easy to communicate and they answer very fast. And originally, I think 1 month ago, they wanted to enable deposits and withdrawals again. But then the Chinese holiday came into the way. And also what they discovered is that they have to do more changes than they thought they would have to do. So it just takes a bit longer. We don't have any ETA. We don't know when it's coming. It's not in our hands, but I don't think that it's too far away anymore. But really, I don't know if it's days or still a few weeks. We just have to be, waiting for their announcement. I can't say anything there, but I really hope that it goes quick. And just to that point, we are also waiting for some other exchanges to enable that again. There we're also pushing very hard, but it just takes some time because these exchanges, I think, are massively overrun with the recent success of crypto. And they're trying to add as many coins, keep above the water, and just try to survive on the operational level. So they're all super busy, and I don't think that sometimes Lisk is a priority because the majority of the users probably already have the LSK tokens on their exchange and they can trade. So that's not the big concern for the exchange to enable then deposits and withdrawals. However, of course, they see the need and will likely follow up with updates. But I think we will still be in that situation where we have to communicate with the exchanges to enable that again for probably several months. But I'm quite sure that Binance will definitely update that before and enable that again. Let's see. Then next question by Splatters. What do you think could be done to bring more people watching these AMAs? The audience is always very low, and I don't know if it's a marketing fault or actually just lack of interest. So we're currently 37 people watching, and what I really would like to do for next year. So for this year, I said to myself, I will just continue doing these AMAs on a monthly basis, while we're restructuring a little bit Light Curve and doing the new marketing strategy and the event for December and the new marketing strategy for next year. And once that is out of the way, then next year, I really would like to do more spontaneous AMAs around one individual topic where I can, also maybe bring people in and discuss it with them, do more like an interview kind of style, and have a bit more dynamic conversation, not just me in front of the camera. And not just, once a month I speak to you all guys. No, just more, hey, here's a topic, Bitcoin all-time high, let's talk about that. Or a new exchange listing for Lisk, let's talk about that. So that's my idea for next year. And I don't know what it is, but YouTube is for me not really feeling like home. Like the comment section is very weird. It's hard to moderate. People write so much weird, wrong information below it. And I am moderating. It is what Naval says, ban often, because it's really just negative nonsense what people say there. However, I'm looking into Twitter Spaces because I heard that they're also going to add video, and I think that's very important. And with this, how is it called, Twitter Blue, there will be even more options coming. So I really think Twitter is a great platform and should be leveraged more. So I'm looking to potentially just host live streams there instead of on YouTube, because it's just a platform I'm much more comfortable with using. I tried in the past to do it on Instagram, but with this whole Meta and Facebook association, I'm not a firm believer there. And I also don't think that we have the audience on Instagram within the crypto space. So I think in order to pull more people in, focus on the platform where is the audience, that's Twitter, and then do more often videos around one specific topic instead of just these general videos, like an AMA style format. So that's a little bit the plan. I also hope that once we've done all what we want to do in this quarter still, that I find more time than from next year on with my move up into the CEO position full time, that I just can do more videos in general. So it's not about pulling more people into this one AMA or this one video, but also just about communicating more, keeping the community more informed about what's going on. That's really a plan for me for next year. I think it's very important so that everyone is informed. I see sometimes misinformation or wrong information being distributed on social media. And I really think that it's one of my tasks to make sure that everyone is always informed in what's happening within the Lisk ecosystem. Then a question by FGTV97. Is Lisk exploring the GameFi industry? So our currently running hackathon, Hack on Lisk 2, has GameFi as a specialized direction. We have two areas, GameFi and DeFi. So we're definitely exploring it. We also, if you want to say, NFTs are the basis of GameFi. Also just put Collecti into our like grant program and already have NFT, which is more like entertainment side of things, but also based on NFTs. So could go into the GameFi direction. So we're definitely taking a look at that field. And I think it's very interesting and promising. So I foresee many blockchain applications being built around that. Either be it some games, some collectibles, or just the regular NFT thing. Really looking forward to what the community is like developing in that field. I also think that many interesting blockchain applications will come out of our hackathon. So in 5 days, it's closing as the deadline reached. And then at AmpliFire on the 2nd of December, we're revealing the winners. So yeah, I think it will be very interesting and definitely something also what interests me personally. Then by I can't read the name, but by another community member, the question: could you shed some light on the biggest thing you are working on at the moment in your new position? So that's the light curve restructuring, the new Lisk vision, and AmpliFire. These are the biggest things, and the Coinbase thing. On these things I work personally on, next to 10,000 other things, but these are like the biggest things I'm working on right now. And then by the same user, why do you think there is so much negativity about Lisk among the crypto community, and how do you plan to overcome it going forward? So I think the negativity has a lot to do with people just buying higher and now the price is lower, and by people seeing competitors or other projects having a better return of investment than Lisk. I think that's all about it, because from a product standpoint, from a development and research standpoint, we are really like good, we are like, I would say, world class in that. From a marketing standpoint, we just didn't have the team or the budget. We slowly ramped that up in 2020 minimally, and then in 2021 already quite a bit more. But next year will be a totally different show, with more people, but also far higher budget. You will hear more about that at AmpliFire. So I think the negativity will go away. And we will move into a positive community spirit again. I also think it's not too negative. It's only the people who are like constantly looking at the token price. If you go to the other channels, like for the hackathon, for the developers or the general channel, it's also a lot about what's being built. We already have 4 blockchain applications in the grant program. It's about the proof concepts of the hackathon. And new exchange listings happen regularly. So everything is actually going pretty well. It's just that the price is not following. If you're like comparing or looking at some trading views or projections, estimations, we just crossed like a descending triangle. So people hope that it goes up again. And from my experience, as soon as it goes up, all the negativity goes away. So you really see that it just comes from the price. Of course, we also did many mistakes in the past, but we are a new Lisk today, and going forward will only be stronger. So I think that will not be an issue anymore going forward. And it's one of our tasks, of course, to have a more positive community again. So we're doing everything we can in order to make that better. If you have feedback, please let us know. We heard quite a few opinions already from different team members. We are working on some of them. But I think generally everything is going very good. Just the price could be better. Then by Michal, we want the currency to rise in order to attract investors. I'm tired of waiting. Okay, so that's exactly what I just said. It's about the price. And well, with AmpliFire, we have the first event where we are also speaking to a more general audience, like an investor. So we are starting to shift. So it's not like I never knew that investors are important, but we didn't want to attract investors when there wasn't a product or not even like the view onto a product. But it's changing now. Next year, Lisk interoperability will go live, and with that, the Lisk blockchain application platform. And this changes everything. What we always internally say is that we're moving out of the building phase into the production phase. And that means we can do more marketing, we can attract more people into our community, and especially business development is very important in terms of exchanges, custodianships, market makers, and so on and so forth, in order to just pull in the right people and make Lisk a success over like all around. And that's happening. Like, we are hiring the people now. You will see it in the next months. Many things will change, and AmpliFire will set the stage for that. Then by nutrition advice, what about Metaverse? Yeah, so I think the whole world is moving towards the Metaverse with Microsoft, with Meta or Facebook. I think even Apple is working on that with AR, also hiring crypto experts, and Tim Cook just stating that he owns crypto, but they don't want to say anything yet. So many companies, big companies, work on that and work towards that. And here it's essentially our take or our job to make sure that not the big corporations will control the metaverse, but that it will be a decentralized and trustless thing. And we're seeing very good jumps in that, like the whole NFT situation based on decentralized networks like Ethereum and so on. Projects like Luxo here in Berlin, focusing also on, let's say, the fashion of the metaverse. So there are many components coming together, and I think we will have a metaverse sooner than later. And I will also talk about that at AmpliFire a little bit. Don't want to say too much here, but I think it's a big thing, and I think it's coming, and I think everyone is actually working towards it. If you think about the physical world needs to be expanded by a digital layer, and that's exactly what the metaverse will be. And well, blockchain will play a vital role in that. Then now there are many questions coming in by our head of marketing, Monica. What are you most excited about at AmpliFire? Well, there are multiple things. Of course, my last talk about the new Lisk vision, which sets the stage for the next years to come, actually until 2025. So super excited about that. I'm also excited to finally reveal our new marketing plans for next year and the higher budgets and so on, which will just lead to more promotions and publicity for Lisk. I'm also excited to see community members. We are like flying in several ones of them. Some will be on stage, and it's been a long time, so I'm looking forward to see some Liskers again. I've been just to Token 2049, and was great to meet blockchain enthusiasts. But I think, meeting like Lisk community members is like a much more like warm feeling to me. So really looking forward to that too. So yeah, I would say these three things: the new marketing plan, the new vision, and meeting some Liskers again. By splatters, we will be excited after it. Before it is still unknown what exactly will happen to feel much excitement. Not sure what he is asking about, but it's not really a question. Then by Sarah, why is Lisk unknown? My friends who are interested in cryptocurrencies, they don't know the Lisk project. I would say it's a good thing because there's so many people who haven't heard about Lisk, but we're still sitting at $500 million market cap. And as soon as we are like pushing on the marketing front next year with a much bigger budget and more campaigns with just the more human resources we will have to take care of that. That means a whole new world of crypto enthusiasts, investors, you name it, will learn about Lisk. And that means many people will flock to it because we are a very foundationally good project, like very stable, good development, great branding, a lot of activity, a lot of years to back up our efforts, a clear roadmap ahead, quite unique research, and like one of the most actively developed projects actually in the space. So all these people then learning about Lisk will have good reasons to join our community. So yeah, it is just because we went into the shadows. We didn't do any marketing in the recent years. This year we just stepped it up a little bit. And that's why to the whole new crypto community, we're not known. But I think this will change quite a bit next year. Then again, by a community member I cannot read the name of. With all the research, product development, new vision and all, what's the price you are targeting for Lisk token by the end of 2022? I don't know that. I never comment on price. I hope it's higher so that we can attract more community members into our space and more developers, but it's not up to me to decide that. Then by FGTV97 again, will Lisk incentivize artists for delivering their collections on Collecti? If yes, can you give some examples of how you will help these artists? Collecti is a blockchain application. It's not an official Lisk product. So it will be up to this startup by the Musti team to define how they are bringing artists to their platform. So that's nothing on my to-do list. Is there any big company on December 2 on AmpliFire event? There will be a few, or there will be a big company present. Just wait for it and be surprised. I will not reveal anything here. It's definitely a nice event to attend. So let's you should make sure to just tune in. Then the Winners Club for Success is asking why withdrawal in Binance is still suspended. When we go from development to production, who will be the target users for Lisk? Okay, so the withdrawal at Binance, I answered that before. It's not up to us. We're in contact with them every day. And well, they are very busy, but they're promising us, they're working on it. And they're one of the very few projects which are actually very responsive. So makes it a lot of fun even working with them because they reply to your messages. And yeah, can't say anything else about that. And in terms of the target users, so right now we're in the building phase, like I said before, and with the interoperability launch next year, we're moving into production. And there, for the first time ever, we can attract users or investors into our ecosystem because they have something to use or to invest in. And that will totally change the whole picture. However, the focus on developers will never go away because we also have the SDK. And we see developers as a sort of multiplier where one developer team can build a blockchain application, which then attracts 10,000s of users into our platform again. So that will never change. But we will or can start focusing also more on the user, on the crypto enthusiast, on the investor, on a entrepreneur kind of person, like these non-techies, I would say. Then by Arabicale, what is the way to make price rise? I think that's mostly up to marketing and business development, marketing and promoting our efforts and bringing more people into our ecosystem, and business development to set the right channels up, to have custodians up and running so that institutional investors can invest into Lisk, to be on more exchanges so that retail investors can invest into Lisk, these kind of strategies. And it's also something we're working on and will push much harder next year. Then a question by What's Up. Hi Max, I understood that Lisk was listed on the second biggest exchange in Indonesia. Did it result in some positive results already you know about? Keep up the good work. So yeah, we were listed at, let me quickly check so I don't, we were listed at Toko Crypto, an exchange powered by Binance or a part of Binance. I'm not sure if it's the second biggest or the biggest. They're like different things. I think the biggest is Indodax. But I think it definitely generated some excitement and opened us up to a new audience. We were listed or are listed at Upbit Indonesia already, but I think it's not such a big exchange. I'm not sure. So this is definitely a very good thing. I've been in Indonesia over the last winter and met quite a few people which were in crypto. And I saw that some of them follow also this new exchange on Instagram. So it's definitely something which exposes us to new people. But like to now see a direct result, I can't say for sure, because also many withdrawals and deposits are closed. So I don't know what impact that has, but definitely a good one. Then by Don't Eat Me 7. Hey Max, can't wait to start developing. A few friends are getting together to create different kind of NFTs and ways to acquire NFTs. The idea of 3D model NFTs. What do you think about this? So I'm thinking you can start developing now, today already. The SDK in version 5 is ready to be used. You can already do a lot with it, and only with Lisk SDK version 6, you would have to update some components, but to start earlier is definitely making a lot of sense already. And yeah, I think NFTs are a great thing, have a lot of potential, and doing certain 3D models and selling these as NFTs is also definitely a good idea. I'm not sure what kind of 3D models you're talking about, but yeah, if you're talking about like just regular things, like whatever it is, scanning them and putting them as 3D models, and you can purchase these as part of NFTs to maybe put into your Metaverse home later on. I think that's also a cool idea. But yeah, I'm missing more information. But I think it's maybe a good idea to get together with NFT or Collecti to see if there may be some collaborations possible. It's certainly a very interesting field to work in the next years. And I saw you wrote something after, also along with the deep scavenger hunt NFT, where you have hints or riddles you have to solve. And once you figure out the code or phrase, you can acquire your NFT. Yeah, there are certainly a lot of ways to gamify it, or to build a community around an NFT collection, because that's essentially what gives an NFT collection value. So I think that's a great idea. You could also look into collectibles then and making really a blockchain game out of that, where the prices are NFTs. There are also these play to earn blockchain games where you're playing the game and you're earning tokens. Well, you could have a play to earn NFT game in a similar fashion. And it definitely has a future, I think, because there's so many kids playing these games, but they earn nothing out of that. And if you could somehow like incentivize the gaming aspect of it and let the players earn money with it, well, that's definitely a win-win scenario. Then a question by Eric. Have there already been early submissions for the hackathon? I'm actually not sure. I didn't take a look yet, but I'm quite sure that some submissions were already there, because last time with the Hack on Lisk 1, we had that also, that a few days before that, people already submitted. But from what I heard from Monica, it's looking quite interesting. Then when Moonsir, well, I'm not going to answer that. By Kilo Lima, do you plan to make partnership with non-crypto related companies? No, because not at the current point of time. I once thought about that. So you have a company within crypto with a crypto product. You have a company outside crypto without a crypto product, but which wants to make a crypto product. You have a company outside of crypto, which also don't intend to do anything with crypto. And you have a company within crypto, but a different, and they do something with crypto or either in a different platform or on Lisk. But well, it's very confusing. I'm getting confused here too. It's getting late. But what we essentially worked out from that is that we have a certain priority list. And with that, I think one of the top priorities is to support new projects intending to build directly on Lisk and to look for existing projects which could be ported over to Lisk. So these are the top two priorities and what I tried to explain before. And then the third priority is what you're referring to, companies which are not in crypto but could go into crypto. I think we don't have the time to convince them. If they want to do something in crypto, they should create a new company for that and do that, and then come with a concept, but not like asking us to somehow blockchainify their business. Doesn't make sense. And then entirely new companies without even the intention to do anything with crypto, no need to convince them either. So for now, we don't really plan to do that. I know from IOTA, for example, having these many partnerships with Volkswagen and so on, where they like try to do long-term collaborations and do some kind of proof of concepts. But I'm a much bigger believer in approaching crypto natives in order to build crypto native applications. I still don't see really a use case for blockchain supply chains, but I see many use cases for DeFi, GameFi, collectibles, and so on and so forth. So we're focusing rather on that than trying to be like creative with existing industries outside of crypto. Yeah, so got a little bit confused there in the beginning, but hope it made sense in the end. Then another question by Elmo. Not sure if he asked a question before. Any plan on burning Lisk tokens? No, we will not burn any LSK tokens. Doesn't make sense to me, just destroying money. What we rather do is consistently buying back LSK tokens through the yield we receive on BlockFi. Currently, that's around 80,000, 85,000 USDC. Will go up because we're putting more money on BlockFi with 180 Bitcoin liquidation I talked about in the beginning. But for next year, we're liquidating even more Bitcoin, and with that, put even more money on BlockFi because with the rise in team like resources, also our costs will go up again. And then we need to still have 2 years of expenses on BlockFi. So that will definitely grow quite a bit going forward, and that's what we're doing. We're buying back with that money LSK tokens on a monthly basis, and over the years, that's quite a bit. And we're using these LSK tokens then to incentivize developers building within our ecosystem. I think that's the most intelligent thing to do here. Question from a Discord member, Lisk89. I would like to learn about HQ's US market strategy. So first of all, we're working on this memorandum for the US and also try to get listed on some US-based exchanges with that. That would be the first strategy we want to deploy before defining anything else. You will hear some more stuff next year about the US, but so far, not too much is happening besides the exchanges. If you want to do something, I know you're from Seattle, if there's something to be done in Seattle or in LA, in Miami, New York, like a lot is actually happening there right now. Let's get in touch and talk about it. I have some ideas in my head, but cannot say them publicly at this point. But definitely a very interesting market for us. And on the exchange side of thing and the custodian side of thing, we're definitely working towards the US market. And I think that will be by far the most important thing for us. because our platform is global anyways, and we're moving more and more towards a digital marketing effort. So it doesn't really matter where you sit, our marketing will reach you. Then are you considering a Remember Me feature in the desktop wallet? Yes, we are considering that, especially if what I said about this alternative to MetaMask, where you will sign transactions of any blockchain within our ecosystem, within desktop or mobile, then it definitely requires a Remember Me functionality. And I'm very sure we are going to add that going forward, because for me, it's also a hassle to constantly have to type in the passphrase again. Then by Rota, when Lisk support Ledger full version support? I think that person is asking when we will reintroduce full Ledger support. That's coming with Lisk Desktop 2.2. Beta or RC version still this year, but the production release early next year. However, you can use the beta or RC versions already to use or to get your LSK tokens and to vote for delegates. So that's coming quite soon for Ledger. Trezor comes a bit later. And then Rota, I'm not sure I'm understanding your question. We are writing for a long time ago. Lisk found a temporary solution, but it contains a lot of risk. I'm not sure what you're referring to here, so I have to skip and move to the next question. By Elmo again, then, you used to have country ambassadors a few years back. Are there any plan to put it back? Yes, there are some plans. Currently, it's being discussed, and I'm quite sure you will hear some more information about that in the coming weeks or months. Like Monica just mentioned that also to me a few days ago, so it's definitely something we're looking at. And that was the last question for now. Let's see if we get something else. Else I will call it a day here. All right, that's it then. Okay, perfect. Then thank you so much for my AMA in November. Wasn't the most focused today, but I think we had some very good answers, and hope that they helped you out in understanding Lisk better. I'm back again the next month for the last AMA of the year. And then, like I announced before, I'm trying to do these kind of videos a bit more dynamic. I'm also still experimenting with how I should sit and where I should sit and how to do it exactly. So yeah, further experiments will come next year. But I'm really looking towards the Twitter platform for hosting these kind of things, because there are so many more people on Twitter for crypto than on YouTube, it feels like, or at least it's easier for us to reach them. So yeah, thank you again, and see you then in the next AMA. Bye-bye.